So I'm hoping that Omar can be in this conversation with me and not be triggered to the point of messing with the electronics or anything like that. Um, yeah. And I'm asking, thank you, Anir, who offered to be the my chaperone. I wrote posted here when delving deeper into darkness. And I thank you, uh, whoever is giving these messages to Marilyn and to Marilyn for reminding me to do that because I am kind of out of my depth in some ways about who I am getting like tangoing with or tangling with. And I had this moment just, I don't know, 15 minutes ago of, you know, I don't want to back down from this, even though it feels like a challenge, like a genuine challenge, not like, oh, it's, challenging for me to remember to, I don't know, something. This is different. This is like it's going to be hard and I'm going to fuck up a lot probably. Like that kind of challenge. So amazing to me. I'm just feeling aware, even just saying that, how I was just sharing on my morning call today about, um, and I'm really feeling very in my vulnerability right now, that I've been really working on resistance lately. I am, you know, you can dig into yourself and see your own behavior, although that can be really hard to do sometimes because you're normal to you. But I became aware not that long ago about resistance, which is like, oh, I should do this, but I don't want to. And then sitting with, well, I should, but I don't want to. And resisting what inevitably actually needs doing. As I'm saying that, I'm looking outside my window and I have hummingbird feeders, and you're supposed to clean those things a lot more often than I expected when I started using them. And there are times when I feel like, oh, I should probably, it's probably been a couple days. And then I'm like, well, and I try to do the math. Well, I refilled it last on this day, and I probably don't need to do it till like tomorrow. And the couple of times that's happened recently, there's mold in them. And so probably I was feeling or responding to what was a hit, like it was time. But I was resisting because, I don't want it if I don't want to, kind of thing. And just last night, so we have an electric car that rats seem to love fucking feasting on. And so now I spray this peppermint spray. And I'm not doing it every day, but I'm doing it, a couple times a week. And just last night I might have thought about it the night before, but anyway, the thought came and I just walked over and just went outside and did it. And it's shocking to me when I don't resist, like cleaning out the litter box or things that, nobody like enjoys, but it takes so little time, but the resistance of not do it takes so much more energy than the doing of it. And I'm doing my best to stay really aware of that. And so this is that same thing. I can really put things off. Right now I'm not loving connecting with Omar or the idea of doing that because now I'm feeling kind of not picked at, but and I'm just want to make sure that you're here with me, Omar, so that we're having this conversation. Reluctantly. And visualing Ener on my left side, like holding my hand, because I need to, thank you. I need to be sure to ask you to chaperone when I am interacting because I don't I don't like the backlash of what is happening. So now I'm kind of wondering, had I kept so I was supposed to meet with Omar. We said, I wrote it down because I realized it came to me last night that part of what might be happening is that he wants to communicate every day. And if I'm not creating a time and space for that, then he may manipulate or interfere with my other meetings. So it only made sense to have a time set aside. but things were different how they unfolded this morning, and I didn't at that time. And then I was supposed to meet with somebody, just a little bit ago, and they ended up getting a flat tire, like five, let's say I contacted her 20 minutes before our meeting time. She said this just happened like 5 minutes ago or 15 minutes earlier. So anyway, you know, uh, am I getting this right? Okay, so Omar is saying he was committed to meeting with me, and I wasn't so much. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. You have a valid point. He's saying that's bad conduct. I'm not going to argue with you. You have a valid point. He's saying I don't like to be disappointed. Absolutely. Of course you don't. I totally get that. Of course you don't like to be disappointed. Nobody does. I don't either. I can be childish about being disappointed, believe me. Um, yeah. So I, and it can have, so what I'm also saying is it can have me behave badly as well. And I am categorizing your behavior. Now, we did talk yesterday about this being a no shame zone, and I'm not trying to shame you, but so I could avoid using that word ugly behavior. You like that better? I wouldn't think. Okay. Disapproving? I'm just picking up on words he's sharing. Anyway, yeah. So now I'm seeing don't like and doesn't work. So let's use that instead. What I don't like, I'm just writing this down so I can remember what I don't like, uh, or uh, isn't working. Yeah, working for me. He's encouraging me to use I statements. Thank you, therapist Omar. Okay. Uh, yeah. And look, I'm trying to bring some humor, Omar, but honestly, I'm just feeling kind of irritated. I'm getting a, you got that right. Okay. Well, hey, thank you for reading my emotions with some empathy that you could even feel that from me. Like you can figure that out. Yeah, he's saying about himself that he likes that he has empathy. Absolutely. And that kind of empathy is the kind of thing we were talking about, I think, yesterday, but with the idea of reinventing your relationship with Scott. So if you didn't already see if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, if you didn't already watch the video or read the transcript of the conversation I had yesterday with Omar, please do, because a lot of really potent information came out about his history with Scott that was. Now, I'm just double checking. Did I get that right? Very accurately. Okay. So he and Scott have a very significant past life together. And I just want to make sure that I got this part right. Okay. So apparently, Omar had a son. This was centuries ago. Omar had a son who was born with a physical deformity. I don't want to get into purposely, like the whole thing about like between lives and making a plan. I'm going to push that aside because I don't think that is helpful or relevant in this conversation. Omar was the dad and saw what his son went through, and it was pretty horrific. And if I don't want to overcharacterize this, but yeah, Omar like lost faith in humanity, like fuck humanity. I have my notes here actually. Yeah. He lost faith in the system of all humankind. People are shitty for no good reason, so why not join them? Yeah, he's saying that he gave up on forgiveness and living. And I can feel some emotion around that. Yeah, I hear you. And this feels weird to even say out loud, but what, yeah. And talk about crazier connected. This is a moment where it's like, am I delusional? Am I, and crazy meaning not connected with reality kind of thing. I don't have another medium here with me double checking what I'm getting. I've been doing mediumship for years and I've been doing it pretty intensely for the last, you know, actually easily handful of years. And anyway, I feel like I have enough checks and balances in place to confidently receive information and know if there's like a tinge of, I didn't quite get that right, or if it really is. And anyway, I feel comfortable and confident about what I'm getting right now. And I'm asking him, like, am I getting this right? I'm trying to not say that part out loud because it's probably irritating to hear it constantly. But I am checking a lot. So when I move forward, and I don't know that I've said this in any of these videos, but that's me checking in. So this is me. Am I getting this right? Okay. And am I wrong? Thank you. Okay. So if you see me moving around, that's why. And I always, I think that's important to do. It's one of the first things I encourage people to do when they're doing mediumship is, wait, how do you double check? How do you build confidence? And that's one of the ways. And it doesn't look like this and that for everybody, but that's what it looks like on me. And if you want to learn how to do that for yourself, you easily can. And I have a free video series on my website about using your body as a pendulum slash energy testing. Yeah, I didn't make it up, but I've been using it for, a couple of decades, and I really rely on it. As long as you're not attached to the outcome. I'm not attached to being right. I really do want to hear what you're trying to communicate. Yeah. Yeah. And he's saying that too. You're not attached to being wrong also. Okay. So Omar, and sorry, when I got off on the tangent about, oh God, now I'm really feeling a little bit crazy here, is the idea that, and Omar, I would love your input on this because there is a belief that when people cross and you're crossed, you're in the light, so to speak. He's like, well, in the dark, but crossed. Okay. Um, that the only thing they take with them is love, but and I'm probably attracting people who have, additional issues and not just love in that way. Because it sounds, I mean, I would say that you need healing. I don't know if you want therapy, like mental health therapy. I'm getting a no fucking way. Okay, well, look, maybe you need to talk these things out because you've been holding on to them and acting out on them all this time because they're subconscious to you. I'm of course getting this information too differently than how, yeah. Some stuff is coming to me, but Omar's stuff I'm like seeing the words. And there's a tone to it, like an energy to it that now I'm coming to recognize as his now that we've interacted a few times. Okay, and are any of my guides here? I'm hoping. So, Anir, you're here with me? Okay. So, am I picking up on the right information? Okay. Is there something that I have been missing? Okay, not quite yet. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Omar, are you willing to talk this out a bit more at level one? Okay. What is level one? Surface. Okay, we could do surface. I don't care. I feel like I should be supporting you. And I think the thing that really got me when I was thinking a little bit earlier before I started doing this recording about, and I'm getting some confirmation chills just really on my right leg, is that I also, part of why I'm not going to back down from this is because I need the hope. I need, I want to help other people have their own hope. And I need the hope that I'm not gonna, like, what's coming to me is barely survive the negative aspects of my own self. Like, I want to be freer of those things. And Omar, man, I want that for you. No fucking way I'm giving up on you. But if you are really, like, I say this with love, a belligerent asshole to me and my friends because you just want my attention when you want it, that is so not going to work for me. And sorry for name calling. He says it's okay. You're going to call me stuff too, and I think you kind of already have. So maybe we could just not get triggered by those things. We are becoming friends. He's saying we're becoming friends, like real friends, like New Jersey friends. He's from New Jersey. We have spicy language. I've been here for 30 years. I have no excuse. But anyway, I like it though. Works for me. Anyway, okay, sorry. I'm entertaining myself over here. And I really want to connect with you. So let's work on level one for now. But look, dude, seriously, we have to have some real boundaries here. Like, I'm not playing. I am not playing around about this. This friendship has to, yeah, support and serve both of us. So I don't want my friends to have problem with their electronics because you want to talk to me instead of thinking that they should. Now, I just want to double check. Did you have anything to do with this friend that I'm thinking of with his electronics? So you did yesterday. Did you still also today? Okay. Can you please stop doing that now, as of right now? Yes, of course. Okay. And then this friend that had a flat tire, did that have to, I'm seeing the nail. Okay, but that have to do, conduct an interview? Influence? Can you just give me a yes or no, please? Did you have any influence over that happening? Yes, I did. Okay. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for your honesty. And I'm going to ask you to not do that. Please. Like, but not even just please. It is really a request. I gotta, okay, Noelle. Look, yeah. Just as I was going to say, I get that you are really used to getting things that way. No, I get it. And I'm feeling reminded of an argument I just had with my husband. Oh, man, I am that. I am that. And I'm not going to fucking pretend I'm not. You're much better at it than I am. You're way more intense than I am. But yeah, I live with a really sensitive, hypersensitive, empathic, recovering codependent partner. And when I am somebody who is rigid about how I need to get my needs met above what he is telling me that he wants and needs, now he's getting pissed off. He used to really acquiesce, but he's right. And I hate that he's right. It is kind of shameful. I just feel like an irritant that I do things that bother him. And then I'm like, well, I need this. So too fucking bad. And that doesn't go well. And as much as it's difficult sometimes, I am clear I made a good choice in husbands for a lot of reasons. One of them being to help me be less of an asshole. Because I learned how to be an asshole and I have stayed that way. Maybe I was born that way. Maybe it's in my DNA. Part of me, of course, wants to blame somebody else because a lot of these behaviors I learned from somebody who I still see these behaviors in very much. So, but I don't want an excuse. I want awareness and I want to grow past it. Even when that means, and this is the part for you, Omar, even when it means not getting what I want, even if it means that, because I'm sharing, I don't know, the power of the reality and how we're living it or the choices that are made with another human being whose needs and wants are equally as important as mine, maybe even sometimes more important than mine. And I feel like that is a place where maybe we can both grow together, but I'm seeing that on you also. He's saying he has an admission of guilt. Yeah, that he's very much guilty um, to take advantage of things, especially when it comes to Scott. Yeah. And we were talking yesterday about, I'm loving that we're tying this into a previous conversation, that Ohmar was seeing himself as a loving task manager for Scott and kind of doing that with me. But that is very dominating. And even as I'm sitting with the idea of Scott at his age in his mid 30s, and I bet he feels very much like a child that you're like protecting him, but, and I know that you are this guardian for him, but man, that doesn't teach him a sense of agency to manage himself. And just thinking about Scott right now and like his inability to drive because he has hallucinations that startle him so much it would be unsafe. And I mean, yeah, I hear you. Omar's saying about himself, like, I've really messed up with this person I love so much. I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you, Omar. And yeah, why don't we just let ourselves just kind of be with that pain? Because hiding from it doesn't help. And if I can support you to grow, it would be an honor. And that feels really important to not pretend it's some other way and to just let ourselves feel the pain of it because it helps us. It helps us have more empathy and compassion for the other person. And we're also determined, because this is a no shame zone, to have empathy and compassion for ourselves. But I think we should do it for other people, like first. He's saying forgiveness is key. Absolutely. And you know, I can suck at forgiveness. Maybe you're better at it. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, you got a bigger fucking grudge than me. But maybe you can help me with that, and I can help you let yourself be vulnerable, authentic, and vulnerable. Is that your goal? I'm writing that down. I just want to make sure we're getting that. Okay. I love that. Authenticity and vulnerability. Well, I had been working on this stuff for like intensely for a couple of years. And now that brings me to my next question. Thank you. Okay. So, Omar, can I ask you about this ego work that I have been involved with? So, are you feeling aware of that kind of work? Yes, very much. So, okay, beautiful. It's a long thing to explain, but I basically channel wrote a book with the Ego Collective. And the basic understanding of it is that it's easy to blame our ego or the ego for our bad behavior, where we're selfish or self-serving or manipulative and other things. Um, but those things come from us, our sense for survival, let's say, or the fear of not getting our needs met, or maybe trauma, lack of reciprocity in relationships, the fear of not getting our wants as well. And then we rely on this like persona at times. There's a lot more to it. Some of it is like our image to others and how we relate to them. And when we are very authentic and very vulnerable, like really, there is no pretense, there's no image to protect to ourselves or to and in front of other people. It's a very different way to like yeah, glide, move through and glide through the world. And that work came to me and kind of through, and it was startling for me I remember I had a couple of weeks where I cried, I don't know, 6 times a day as I was getting the information because they're using me as an example. I haven't read it in a couple of years. I'm going to go back to it anyway. But I had that thought about you feeling so hurt. And if this is like that egoic part of your being, some people say that when you cross, that your ego leaves. And so there's an energetic ego. We all have an energetic ego, like a member of our spiritual team that assigns themselves to us. But that ego can be egoic at times, but isn't necessarily egoic all the time any more than we are. It's not like their total nature. But I had the thought yesterday that maybe what's happening with you is tied into that. He's saying, I would say so, because that can really give us something to work from. I don't know how. I guess I would have to read the book. No, well. Anyway, uh, yeah, I've got hundreds of pages of text. And I was getting AI assistance actually to help organize it all because it's overwhelming. It has overwhelmed me for years when I even think about it, but it's important information. It was very potent information. And you may really benefit from this, Omar. So, what, so I do have another meeting in a couple of minutes. So I feel like there should be some kind of like action plan from here. Tell Scott I apologize for any time I super dominated himself and everything in his path. Hmm. Do you really mean that? He said, I do. Yeah. Okay. I know. Forgiveness is key. Yeah. And then he says he has to, Omar is saying he has to forgive himself. But then he also said, and I have to stop being an asshole. Yeah. Why not? What the hell? Uh, and I feel like, and it moves me to say it, that I feel like that's something that we can do together more. But that's also you being able to always admit when you are being that way. And then also to see with, and I'm seeing, getting the term, with great eyes of love when you're not being that way. And when you are, we could bring in some compassion of why and why you're triggered to feel that way. But then, dude, you have to let it go. That's the thing. You have to let it go. The hopelessness that you feel about humanity and how that brings out these feelings of, well, I don't fucking care anymore how I'm making anybody feel because I need, like all of that. We're good. We need, we, and Scott needs this from you. We need to evolve past that, out of that, evolve out of that. And maybe we already have the tools and we just didn't know it or don't know how to use them. But I want the hope that we can for you and for Scott and for myself and for everybody else who's in this situation that needs that, whether it's internally or just the energies that orbit around them that are attracted to them because of what they've got internally. I think we all need hope. Hope, yeah. He's saying there's no replacing it. Yeah. Yeah. So let's build some together. I think we should do that. I felt like I asked him in my head, like, are you game? And he said game. Okay. And I'm seeing us shaking hands. I hope to not forget everything we just talked about. I do have some notes, but we're going to keep doing this. And look, maybe we can't meet every day. I'm not going to promise that we can meet every day. And I say this with love for you. Please don't have a fucking temper tantrum if we can't meet every day or if something happens and I can't keep my appointment. It doesn't mean you're not important and I don't care about you. It just means that other shit came up and we'll reschedule. That's it. It doesn't mean anything about your value or worth to me. Shit happens. I have friends we reschedule all the time because when it doesn't work for one person, like it just doesn't work. So if we have an appointment and you don't show up, I'm going to assume something else came up. Not necessarily more important than me, but maybe more urgent in the moment, or it just didn't work. And we'll meet again another time, and it's fine. So I want that understanding with you because I don't want this other stuff happening anymore. He's making sure you all know that he belligerently and reluctantly apologizes and agrees to this. Sorry, that's really funny. Okay. Thank you for acknowledging that you belligerently, reluctantly agree. And thank you for making me laugh. That was nice. Okay. Till next time.